Hello, this is Jason P. Wilson 01 X-Force, and this is my Marvel pull list for the week of May 11th, 2011. Picked them up on the 12th, and today is the 13th. First up is Daken number 9. I don't usually pick up Daken, but it's had a crossover with X-23, which I do pick up. This is the last part in the crossover. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought I was going to go X-23, Daken, and X-23, but it's actually a 4-parter, so you get 2 of each. And every time I went to pick up Daken, I got one of the last ones, so that was good. This is actually a cover I saw quite a while ago on previews and stuff, and I really liked it. That was pretty cool. One of the reasons why I really enjoy getting singles, not only is because obviously the value holds, but I do enjoy, getting the covers and kind of anticipating the story and stuff like that. Sometimes it's disappointing. Other times it's very exciting. So the conclusion, it's been a good read. I've kind of held off for a while, but I did read all but this one, and I really like what they did. There were a few things I would have done differently, but I'm not a writer or an artist, so I'm happy with what they did. Next up is Incredible Hulk 628, and this is War of the Banners. Looks like they're going to pound out some of their issues. Pretty cool cover. I've been enjoying the covers of this series, of this run. I always like Hulk. I have every single Hulk since the leading up to Hulk Planet Hulk, and this is one that I mentioned on my DC pull list, that I'm trying to make cuts. I'm trying to decide which comics I'm going to keep and which I'm going to go ahead and let go for a while. And it's kind of tough because I did that once before, but I still have like more than I should be having right now. And even though I think it's going to be harder for me to choose which of my DC comics to let go of, it's going to be pretty hard to figure out which Marvel comics I'm going to hold on to as well. I've been collecting Incredible Hulk for a long time. He's one of my favorites, and they're consistently good. Where the Hulk's team with the Red Hulk, they are good, and they go back and forth in my taste. My taste is Incredible Hulk style, and they've been more consistent. So I did let go Hulk's, and I was holding on to She-Hulk's until they canceled the series. And so now this is my only Hulk book, so I can't imagine letting this one go. The one thing about like Amazing Spider-Man and Incredible Hulk, I mentioned this before, they come out a lot. Like, they're really quick with coming out of issues, and that's great. But then, I'm buying more a month. With that said, I've really been enjoying this run, and I can't think of the last run on Incredible Hulk that I have not liked. That would be a ways back, and it's not that I didn't like it, it just wasn't as good as they have been and can be. But I do enjoy the whole Red She-Hulk thing, and I'm glad that she's right now doing a lot more on the Incredible Hulk book than on the others. Next up is another new comic that I've been enjoying a lot, and that is FF Future Foundation number 3. I've always been wanting to read Fantastic Four, but I just haven't. I enjoy the team, I like the team, and then this whole event with the death of Johnny Storm gave me the excuse I needed, because they, restarted it. They made a good choice in not just restarting Fantastic Four, but actually changing it completely. And in my opinion, FF is alongside Uncanny X-Force as the best Marvel comics. So whatever cuts I make, it will not be FF. All I can say is it's only issue number 3. I hope they can be like some of the great ongoing comics and keep the quality consistent and keep the writing. I'm pretty forgiving when it comes to artwork, though I really appreciate when it's great. But if you keep the good storytelling and good writing, I can forgive a lot. And I've been enjoying this, and I'm looking forward to reading this issue. And last but not least is Amazing Spider-Man 660. Road to Spider Island. I know a lot of you hate it when they do that, like Road to. They do that with Flash, and I kind of agree with you. It's like, why Road to? Why not just jump in there and just do it? Like, have something going on and then jump into the event or whatever. I've been really happy with Amazing Spider-Man. I jumped on. I hadn't been reading Amazing Spider-Man. I was reading Ultimate Spider-Man, and then when they had the big time event happening, I was reading Avengers, and I knew he was on the team, and I really liked that they wanted to show him being on the Avengers in the Spider-Man comics. So I started reading Amazing Spider-Man on the first issue of Big Time. Absolutely love the art, and I was in Spider-Man heaven for that run. You know, they have artists, you know, going back and forth, and I knew that. So I definitely like some of the teams better than others that do Amazing Spider-Man. But this is a comic like Incredible Hulk that comes out often, and it's a $3.99 comic. It's one of the more expensive ones. But I love Spider-Man, and I've really been enjoying him, and I love that he is one of the main replacements, if not the main replacement, for Johnny Storm. I think he fits into Future Foundation perfectly, and whether I continue keeping Amazing Spider-Man, I know I can get him in Future Foundation, which is pretty cool. I really do like all the different uniforms that he's been making for himself. And even though the artwork has been back and forth for me, sometimes I didn't like it, sometimes I really did, the writing has stayed pretty good. There were a few issues as of late that were kind of like blah, but being a Spider-Man fan, I still found enjoyment in them. But I have been enjoying reading the double. You know, I've been reading him in FF and then Amazing Spider-Man. I do agree with Manginoni, and he was mentioning that he prefers the writing in FF over Amazing Spider-Man, and I have to agree. I feel the same way. I feel they're doing a better job in FF, and it is kind of weird, and I do that a lot. Like, I'll be reading multiple comics, so maybe there'll be Wolverine, and I'll be reading him in Uncanny X-Force, and then he'll be doing something in New Avengers, and then doing something over here in Avengers. And when you're into the story that you're reading, it kind of pulls you out of it when the same characters are doing different things in different comics. And I wish they wouldn't do that as much as they do, and they do it a lot with Marvel. Marvel's really bad with that. So when you're reading FF and Amazing Spider-Man, you're having the same characters and you're reading different stories about them, and it's like, it kind of messes you up a little bit because they come out at the same time and you're reading them usually at the same time. So you kind of have to just go with the flow with that, because they're trying to put out comics and they don't necessarily, they know when they're going to come out, but sometimes the time has changed a little bit. But it would be great if they're going to do stuff like having the same characters in different monthly comics. It would be great if somehow they know that, hey, a reader that picks up Amazing Spider-Man is also going to pick up FF. So we don't want to make it a crossover, so you have to read both books. But why don't we make it that if you read both books, you will get a bonus, because they will actually somehow, instead of them being completely different things going on in different comics with the same characters, so you're like, hey, which one's happening now and why aren't they connecting? Maybe they could be different stories, but maybe if you read both, there'll be a little something in there letting you know the connection. Maybe that would be a lot harder to do in reality than it seems like it would be a simple thing to do. But with that said, I'm looking forward to reading Amazing Spider-Man. He's one of my favorite characters, and I'm really curious of what this Infested is, Spider Island. I haven't read much about it. I know they're kind of leading up to it a little bit, but I'm not exactly sure 100% what the whole thing is. Now, the previews that I saw, it seems like it's going to be handled by the same team that did Big Time, which I'm very excited about because Big Time was my favorite run with Spider-Man. So if that's the case, we'll be very excited about that. So yeah, that is my Marvel comic poll for this week. Like I said, I'm trying to decide which ones I'm keeping, which ones I'm going to let go for now. If you guys have any suggestions for me, please let me know. And please let me know whatever comics you guys are reading, and if there's any reviews on either my DC or my Marvel poll lists, let me know, and I will post reviews for those. And thanks a lot for watching.